If you watch some of my videos, you may know that I'm working on an online business together with my husband Christian. And after moving away from the crypto topic on this YouTube channel and also switching the language, I have been thinking for quite some time what I want to talk about, what I'm interested in, what I'm passionate about, so I can share it with you. And then at some point it actually hit me. I am passionate about building a successful online business, and I'm learning a lot, and there is so much to share. Also, it's not quite an ordinary path that you're taking in your life if you decide to be self-employed or try to build a business, because we're usually taught to go to school, get good grades, and then get a safe, in quotes, job, and then work until you retire. And that's why if you're trying to build something on the side, or if you're trying to build your own business, having a side hustle maybe, then this content, I guess, may resonate with you. Additionally, I want to point out that by no means I'm proclaiming myself now an online business expert. While we made a significant progress since 2019 when we started, we also learned a lot and made a lot of mistakes. We're not there where we want to be yet, and I don't feel like coaching somebody or something like this. I just want to share my experience, our progress, and also our journey with you. And in this video, I decided to start from the very beginning, how it all started, and why I quit my job at an IT company, and how I made the decision to start working on an online business together with Christian. I want to talk about it because it was a huge decision back then for me. Looking back, it doesn't seem that bad, it seems easy, but I do remember that it was literally terrifying and also challenging. So backtrack. I graduated from the university and I studied German and English and wanted to be a translator or interpreter from English and German to Russian and Ukrainian, but I quickly realized that it's not exactly what I want to do and it's a bit boring. And that's why after graduating I spent 1 year in Germany to improve my German, and I came back to Ukraine and decided to take a job at an IT company. And while they didn't need somebody to translate for them, of course, they required somebody with proficient English skills, and German was also a benefit. And while I didn't want to do anything related to translation, I was perfectly fine working with languages because I do love that. So I worked at that company for around 3 years and changed positions once. I started as a lead generator, and after some time I thought, okay, I hit the ceiling now and I want to learn something else. And after that I learned a bit and then got a position of the account manager. So like negotiating with clients, tracking the health of all the projects that were under my control, so to say, and also trying to upsell clients on the services of the company that I was working at. On both of those positions, I actually worked a lot. We had 40 hours work week, and we were supposed to track the time that we are spending at the computer working and also specify the tasks that you're working on. Sometimes the work required also to work on the weekends, because if you had to do some tasks, if there is some fire on the project, then you have to extinguish that fire even if it's weekend. And I started wondering if that's supposed to be it, because the salary was quite good. As you may know or not know, the IT companies in Ukraine are paying higher than average salaries to their employees. So the salaries in IT companies are much better than the regular salaries in Ukraine. But I still saw the ceiling of how much money the company or any other company would love to pay me for my skills and for my work. And the only way I saw was, okay, either upskill or get some promotion or try some other positions and so on, because I actually never thought about being self-employed or working on a side hustle or starting an own business. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but it never crossed my mind. The only way that I saw was upskilling and switching position or getting promotions. But it still felt like something is missing. Am I supposed to be tired all the time, work more than 40 hours per week, and also get a nice salary, but still not nice enough to live a really good life and also afford, I don't know, an apartment or a house and go on vacations and so on? but as said, I didn't see the way. Around that time, we also started dating with Christian, and back then we were still living in different countries. So I lived in Ukraine and he still lived in Germany, and either he visited or I visited. For him it was a bit easier, or actually much easier, because he had a contract with a client, and he could work from anywhere he wanted and was quite flexible in terms of working hours. Well, I had 14 vacation days per year that I could spend on traveling, but of course it wasn't enough. Also, around that time, I read a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, quite a famous one, and also, in my opinion, the best and also must-read book for everyone. And one of the thoughts that stuck with me from this book was, if you're trading your time for money, you will never be well off financially. I'm not quoting this, it's just how I remember it or how I perceive it. And I was thinking to myself, shit, that's exactly what I'm doing, and actually not at a great hourly rate that I got paid at the IT company. But at that moment, I still didn't have a solution. How do I change it? Like, okay, I understand that what I'm doing is not the right way to do it, but how can I change it? How can I do it differently? And I still didn't have the answer back then. Around that time, Christian also decided to stop working with his back then client, to end the contract, and he suggested we start working on our own business. So here was the plan. We have around 15,000 euro in savings. He ends his contract, I quit my job, and we have no idea what we want to build. We have no idea where to start. And we actually went for it. So I agreed to that offer. I accepted it, but I do remember that it was really horrifying. And it wasn't the hard work that I was afraid of, but it was actually uncertainty. Because all my adult life I was working for a salary. So theoretically I knew that if I'm doing my work, if I'm not messing things up and so on, then I will get my salary. Of course, that's not the right thing, because if the company goes bust, or if your services are not required anymore, you cannot find a job, you're also not safe and so on. But back then, it's the only way I knew, so I do my job and I get paid by somebody. It really required a huge mindset shift to try to understand that, okay, now I'm not exchanging my time for money. Now I can put a lot of time into something that may actually not even pay off, that may not work at all, that nobody is going to pay me in the end of the month or in the beginning of the month, that we have to figure it out ourselves. But I remember that in the beginning I still had second thoughts. During first months, when we were still trying to figure out what we are going to do, what we are trying to build actually, I was still going to some job interviews and was considering to take a job. And to sum it up, I actually want to share with you two questions that, first of all, helped me to make this decision to quit my job and try to build something, and also that helped me to go through this period of uncertainty, so that initial stage where I was still questioning if I made the right decision. So the first question that I was asking myself was, what is the worst thing that could happen? So what is the worst thing that could happen if we fail? If we try to build something, but then we spent all our savings and we actually failed. Okay, I thought that maybe we will not have enough money to pay for the rental apartment that we were renting back then. We would have to move in with my family or Christian's family, and we would need to take a job, and also it probably would be embarrassing, because when I quit my job and I announced to my family and to our friends that we are going to build an online business, only a few of them were supportive. A lot of them were judging this decision, and I guess my thoughts were, if we fail, then it would be really embarrassing to admit that to them, and also to admit that they were right. But then I thought, yeah, well, I can live with that. I can live with this shame, so to say, and I can go over this. And then the second question that I asked myself actually, and it is, what happens if we actually succeed? And here you write all the things that you're imagining that you would do or you would achieve in your life, the life that you would have if you actually pull it through. And that was, for example, for us, a lot of flexibility. We could work from wherever we want, and whenever we want. We could actually work on our terms, we could build something that we are proud of, that we enjoy, and so on, and not even mentioning the financial rewards that were much bigger than my salary at an IT company, for example, and a lot of other things, so you can just write them down for yourself. And then you see, okay, the worst case scenario, what would happen if you fail? And then you see if you actually can live with that, and then all the rewarding things that you would get if you actually succeed. This list that I had on my desk for quite some time actually helped me to go through the difficult time, the initial time, and to ensure that I actually stick to this decision and don't fall back to getting a job. So right now I'm applying this principle also to other decisions that I have to make. For example, if I want to make a course and I'm not sure if it will take off or not, if it's worth spending time on this or not. I also can write down the things what will happen if this fails, and I can write down the things that will happen if this idea actually succeeds. And then I see if it's worth my time. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that it will give you some insights into how it is to actually build a business or quit a job and decide to build something on your own without the help and without the additional funding and so on, and maybe even inspire you to start a side hustle or even try to build your own business. Let me know in the comments below what else you would like to see and actually learn about that crazy journey that started in 2019, actually forgot to mention. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to follow our journey, and see you in other videos.